What's going on, guys? Lawson here. If you can see behind me, it is a insanely beautiful morning out right now. Today's video brought to you by Mystery Tackle Box. If you don't know what Mystery Tackle Box is, they are a subscription-based company that sends a box full of lures to your door every month. It's great stuff. They have saltwater boxes, bass boxes, panfish boxes, almost anything you can think of. So we have a saltwater box with us today, and we're gonna go through it a little bit and use some of these lures while we're out wade fishing this morning. They have a new deal going on, you guys. You can get your first box for just $5. So go click the link below and check it out. Huge shout out to them for supporting this channel, supporting real fishermen. Anywho, we're gonna dig around here while we fish today, but it's been a rough couple of days fishing for me, but I have a good feeling about today, and we're gonna get on the water and we're just gonna grind it out and hammer it out and see if we can catch some fish. So we're gonna throw the big camera in the dry bag, hop onto the GoPro, and get catching some fish. Oh, there's a fish. That was like my third cast of the morning. Oh, that's got me excited that this could be a good morning. This could just be a jack or something. It's not really fighting, but oh my gosh. All right, well, it's a micro jack, but still good. Little micro jack, but I'm just happy to get the ball rolling and that we got a bite. So let me show you what we're throwing. 2500 spinning reel, 10-pound braid, a medium light 7-foot rod, 15-pound fluoro to a 1/8 ounce jig head, and a really bright chartreuse little paddle tail right there. Very simple setup that can catch basically any fish you'll encounter inshore: trout, snook, red, flounder, tarpon, micro jack. I have a good feeling about today. I'm trying to keep positive attitude. There's a fish. That feels good. Maybe. It felt heavy at first. Ooh, trout. There we go. Nice troutski. I think that's what we're dealing with. Or this trout may have turned. Son of a... This trout just turned into a freaking ladyfish. Oh man, I think we already knocked off our wading inshore trash can slam, lizardfish jack, and a ladyfish. Well, the trash can slam is coming together with the poor man's tarpon right there. I really, man, he hit, one, ladyfish just hit the freaking life out of a lure when you hit them, but they fight pretty hard too, and he came to the surface and thrashed a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, there's our trout. That's the boy we're looking for. And of course, just a freaking ladyfish. It's all right. We're catching fish this morning, which is already significantly better than it has been. I mean, they may be trash fish, but I think that means we can weed our way through some of these things and hopefully find something decent. That's could be better. Maybe not. I don't know. I set my drag pretty loose. When I set the hook, though, it seemed heavy. What are we dealing with here? Feels like a jack or something. I don't know, man. This is cool, though. We're at least getting some bites here. Haven't put anything solid together, but we're getting bites, which is a lot more I can ask for than the past few days here. Yeah, it's just like a little bit bigger jack crevalle, which is all right. Not too heartbroken about it. Oh, no, it's not. It is a freaking good-looking pompano is what it is. You dirty dog. I love catching pompano on artificial, man. They are just such mean fish. Oh, yeah. And they fight hard, too. This one didn't give me a good drag screen like a lot of times they tend to do, but that's all right. He's just putting his head down and dogging. There it is. Dude, just, I mean, an underrated game fish. They're literally just micro permit is all they are. Come on, baby. I mean, this thing is just dogging me in a circle now. Let's see if we can get him. Try the solo land here. This is a good pomp too, man. If I was keeping fish today, he'd be a good one to keep. Good Lord. This thing is pulling me in a effing freaking circle. Boom. That's what I'm talking about right there. Nice fat pompano. I bet he's probably 15 inches or so. Pop that artificial out of his mouth. I'm debating whether I want to keep this guy or not. I actually have a cooler in my car with some ice in it. But, You know what? I think we'll let Buddy fly. What a beautiful fish. Man, they are just such cool fish. Awesome. That is what we've been looking for. Waded our way through a few trash fish. Found a beautiful, beautiful pompano. Maybe we catch a few more of those. I don't know if I catch maybe another one or maybe one or two more. They might one of them might get thrown into the cooler today. But I am ecstatic to just be catching fish. There it is. That was such a gentle eat. Oh, it's a ladyfish. That's why. I had a feeling that's what was going on out there. Almost every single time I cast it out there, as it was sinking, it felt like I'd been getting picked up. And I just felt my line get like barely tight. Get out of here. I felt my line just get like really like tink like that and just set on it. And lady bone hops out the other side. Oh gosh, pumped. They're hitting pretty far out and like pretty early on into my cast as well. It lets me know maybe I need to be fishing a little further out. I'm about as far out as I can wade. I can only walk out probably another foot or two, but they're hitting like right at the total end of my cast. It's sinking, popping up a few times and getting whaled. I think a lot of them are ladyfish, but where there's ladyfish, that's where trout and pompano and everything else is going to be. Even though ladyfish are kind of annoying sometimes, they are a great indicator of where the fish are, because they prey on all of the same things that all your big game fish are looking for, but ladyfish just happen to be kind of annoying. If you're in an area and you're like, oh man, all we're catching is ladyfish, it may not be that there's only ladyfish there. They might just be beating other fish like snook and trout and stuff to the punch because they're just such a dumb and aggressive fish. You might need to throw something that sinks a little bit, something a little bigger that a ladyfish couldn't eat that a snook or a trout definitely could. But just because you're catching ladyfish, don't get discouraged, because like you saw right there 5 seconds ago, like you saw like 5 seconds ago, I caught a jack, a lizardfish, and a ladyfish, and then like the next cast caught that beautiful pompano, and that was all in a span of about 10-foot area. They're there. They're all around each other. Sometimes you just got to weed through some of these little garbage peckerheads and find some of those good fish. Alrighty, I'm very thankful we have a Mr. Tackle box in hand today, because my shrimp I'd been using on more and just got bit in half. But we got some more here that we're gonna bust out that came in this month's box. I'll try one of these golden boys right here. And if it doesn't work out, I'll throw something different colored. What I was throwing before was basically like a golden color but with a chartreuse tail. We'll see how this works. Maybe this will be better, maybe this will be worse. Only one way to find out, and then it's throwing it. I would have to imagine the fish that just bit me off was either like a barracuda or like a puffer fish or blowfish, whatever you want to call them. They are a nuisance out here in the flat. They love to bite all your crap in half. All right, we are back in action. Hard to tell if that's good or not, but about 4 casting on the new shrimp. This is so weirdly just swimming right at me, and now freaking out. What the heck is happening? That was so weird. It just like flew at me and then saw me and then freaked out. I think this might be a small pompano. Oh no, it's a bluefish. All right. That was really weird. Very weird. It's actually not a bad bluefish either. I'm always surprised though when I catch them on shrimp. I feel like they just like shouldn't be eaten on the bottom. But what do I know? We've had an epic mixed bag of fish today. If we can catch a trout or a snook, I will be extremely, I mean, I'm already extremely happy with today, but if we catch trout or snook, it'll be like completion of a perfect day. This thing is going nuts. It's actually a really nice bluefish. I mean, not huge, but for inshore and on a shrimp, all things considered, not too shabby of a blue doggy right there. He's not even like hooked anymore. He just won't open his mouth and let go of the soft plastic, and then won't open his freaking... Awesome, nice bluefish right there. It's so funny. In my opinion, there's about 3 fish that you can catch in Florida that will actively try to bite you when you're unhooking them, and that would be a bluefish, sharks, and mangrove snapper. We are off to not a too bad start so far. You know, waded our way through a little bit of trash fish, but now found nice pompano, a nice bluefish. And like I said, when I was fighting that blue, if we can catch just a trout or snook or a red, one more like good game fish, I will be a happy man. I already am, but that would really make my morning. The fish seem to be biting well. It is a huge relief because I have had some very tough fishing days over the past week or so. So today has just like really been a weight off my shoulders and makes me feel like I'm not the biggest idiot in the world. It's been an interesting morning so far. So I really started out throwing this shrimp right here until it got bit in half, and I caught most of my fish on it. Then I put a different color and a different brand of shrimp on, caught that bluefish really quickly, but then other than that, really didn't get any bites on it. And now I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh man, I guess the bite kind of died off. But I'm not sure if it actually did. Maybe just changing the color and the style of shrimp I was throwing made that big of a difference, which would be shocking to me, but we're gonna see. You know, it very well could be. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock now, sun's up a little higher, that morning bite has kind of faded away, and the fish could just be kind of chilling out. Or it really could be as simple as, hey, I took off the bait that was catching the fish and they stopped eating it. So that's what we're trying to figure out. It's been a great morning regardless though. Caught a lot of fish. Nothing absolutely humongous, but I could not be happier with the pompano that we caught. Then the bluefish put up a really great fight on this 2500, and we've had consistent action. That's really all I could ask for after the past couple really tough days of fishing, is just getting to set the hook and do a lot of fish, getting to... Dude, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 100% the shrimp made that big of a difference. I cannot believe that. That is shocking to me. That it literally was like, seriously, I stopped catching fish with that other... Oh, it's a freaking big trout. What the hell? I did not realize that was even a nice trout until he just like pulled up and jumped right in front of me. I cannot believe that's what the difference was. That was like my 3rd cast with this new shrimp, and jumbo trout comes out. Is that sick or what? Beautiful. Oh, that was sick. I picked him up and he let out a big, deep croak. Beautiful, beautiful trout right there. One of the most beautiful fish around, in my opinion. I mean, look, he's got like purples and yellows, blacks, green, blue. Absolutely absolutely beautiful fish, man. All right, we're gonna pop a hook out of hammy right here. Beautiful. I bet he's 21 inches long. Not a bad trout at all. Wow, it has been a fantastic morning. Pompano, trout, bluefish, ladyfish, jack, lizardfish. That's awesome, man. And I can't believe I'm sitting there talking about how, like, oh, I wonder if changing shrimp really makes that big of a difference. And like my 2nd cast, putting back the original shrimp I've been throwing, and I get slaughtered by best fish of the morning. Doesn't prove something to you about how really color choice and bait style can make a humongous difference? I don't really know what will, because I honestly, it's hard to tell just for the video because the way it'll be cut together. I threw that golden shrimp that I only caught that bluefish on for probably about 35 minutes, and that was the only fish I caught. Put back the original shrimp I was throwing, hook up, biggest fish of the morning right there. I want to show you guys something real quick. These are the 2 shrimp I've been throwing this morning. This is the one that I've been catching all the fish on, and this is the one that I only caught the bluefish on. Now, the color difference between the bodies of these two is really not that far off. One's kind of more see-through and one's kind of a darker gold. And then this one has chartreuse and longer legs and longer antennas on it. Now, what's making the difference here? Is it the chartreuse? That is what I would think is probably leaning more towards making a bigger difference. But every little thing on this one with all these big giant floppy legs and floppy antennas adds more action to it. Now, if I was like really subtly trying to sight cast fish, I might go with this because it's just really natural and I know I'd be putting it in front of their face and it wouldn't be too much to scare them off. But with this, where I'm just blind casting out on the flat, you know, these vibrations that this puts off and a little more flash, they'll see this from a further distance, especially with this chartreuse tail, they're going to see it from a distance. But it's crazy to think that really there's not that much different between these 2 baits right here. I mean, look at the hooks. The hooks are almost the same exact size. This one's weighted a little differently, so it falls head first, and this one has a weight in the middle, so it falls level like that. But it's crazy that basically the exact same bait, just a little different color and a little different style, and one of them is getting crushed and the other really didn't do that much for me other than one single fish. That's crazy to me that that much can make a difference. And so what to take away from that for you guys, don't be afraid to change a bait up, even if it doesn't seem like that big of a change. Maybe you just go from a gold to a gold with chartreuse, and it might make a huge difference like it has for me today. There isn't the fish. What do we got? Doesn't feel super large and in charge. At least it didn't at first, but now it feels a little heavier. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right, Cletus the fetus over here. See you later. Okay, we are winding things down here. Probably gonna take like a handful more casts before we call it a morning. It has already been, I think, wildly successful. I couldn't be more happy with today, how it's gone so far. You know, nothing absolutely giant, but solid trout, solid pompano, solid bluefish. Got to throw in some little garbage can fish in between those. And it's been a good morning putting a bite together after having a few very rough days of fishing over the past week. I have probably fished, 6 or 7 times over the past week where haven't even caught enough fish to be worth making a video. So it feels really good to come out here and just easily connect with some solid fish, just figuring it out and putting a bite together on an artificial shrimp. I know throwing a shrimp isn't always the most exciting thing, but it is one of my favorite ways to catch fish because it works well, it works efficiently. You never know what's going to hit your line when you're throwing a shrimp. It could be anything. And it's just fun to work real methodically and to feel a big fat thump and set the hook, and you might set the hook and it might just come flopping in, or you might set the hook and your drag is going to light up and start streaming the other direction. You never know what's going to happen. All right, that'll do it. I will meet you guys back at the truck. Boom, we are off the water. Talk about a pretty stellar morning. I am honestly really jacked up right now because this morning went way better than I really thought it was. I have had a few tough days of fishing over the past week, and it felt good to get out and just crack some fish. A good pompano, a good trout, a nice sized bluefish, throwing a little garbage fish in the mix of that, and it was a really great morning of just solid action. I was honestly shocked when I talked about how big of a difference the shrimp made, and there really wasn't that much of a difference between them though. It was just gold and chartreuse in straight gold, and one had longer legs and longer antennas, and you wouldn't think something that simple could make a difference, but it clearly did. Very interesting thing to observe. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I had a ton of fun getting out, catching some fish, and don't worry, if you didn't watch my last video, I just hinted at there is a boat solution in the works right now, and very soon we're going to be back running the rivers and doing a bunch of fishing, so don't you worry about that. I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you go check out Mystery Tackle Box in that link below. I appreciate them for supporting me, and I appreciate you guys for supporting me. Until the next video. See you guys.